Thanks, Laika. Uh, it's absolutely a pleasure to welcome everyone on this webinar or meeting. And it's amazing how many time zones we are dealing with at this time. Lata in a different time zone, Trisha in a different time zone, Laika in a different time zone. I see Vegas there from a different time zone, in Chicago, and I see on the screen from a different time zone. I'm sitting in Taiwan. It's amazing how we are able to bring the global community together with this webinar. Thank you, Laika, for putting this together. It's been very appreciated. Trisha, thank you. Lata, thank you. And also Della for being very instrumental in putting this together. I see Allison is on the other line also. Thank you, Allison, for all the hard work and reaching out to all the members to join. Just, quickly, I'm Raj. As some of you don't know me from Georgia, I'm the USA president. Just wanted to welcome everybody and thanking you for joining. And hopefully this will bring more business opportunities for us and you both, and continue to do these kind of events so we can support each other across the globe. And I'll hand it over to Laika because I am in the middle of the night in Taiwan right now, coming to you. So Laika, all yours, take it over. Before taking over, I'll just want to introduce our moderators. Trisha Haney, she's the global luxury agent in the Metro Phoenix, Scottsdale, Arizona, USA area. Trisha was born and raised in southeast Colorado, actually. However, lived and worked many of her adult years in Canada. I did not know that, Trisha. Trisha has a passion for global real estate, having her CIPS, RSPS, CRS designation, and is a proud member of FIAPSI, ARIA, and CREA, Canadian Real Estate Association, which is a global affiliate. Thank you, Trisha, for doing everything. Also introducing Lata Jobanputra. Lata is a FIAPSI USA member and globally connected real estate agent based in Southern California. Lata is a member of Orange County Realtors and the vice chair of the Global Business Alliance Committee for 2023, and also a member of the leadership and professional development committees in Orange County Realtors. He's also a director of California Association of Realtors and is a member of Global Business Alliance Forum, Professional Standards Committee, and Reimagine and Expo Committee. So Lata holds many designations and certificates from NAR. Thank you, Lata, for taking the time out. And I'll pass on the baton to Laika to take over. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President Raj. Greetings again. Greetings to all participants of the webinar. I'm sending the best wishes from FIAPSI Georgia, whole leadership, our members, participants. So as I already mentioned, while we were discussing the idea of today's webinar, it emerged from during our Paris World Congress, where we meet and discuss possible cooperation opportunities. And I'm so happy that today it is happening. And special thanks to you, Mr. Raj, and special thanks to Della Bush. She has organized the webinar perfectly, and also to Trisha and Laita. This mutual efforts to strengthen relationship between our two chapters is really very important. So today we have amazing opportunity to introduce Georgian real estate and hospitality sectors, its investment potential, and also showcase attractive investment opportunities. I'm twice happy to be part of this webinar, as United States is our strategic partner and supporter of my country, Georgia. So we have their rich history of cooperation, and I'm sure that this cooperation will enhance and continue in future. I would like to very shortly mention that our chapter FIABCI Georgia was created with the aim to put Georgian real estate sector on a global map. Starting from the establishment period, we have organized many international conferences, events, and also recently we have hosted our world president, Susan Greenfield, to inaugurate our first national awards, which happened in Georgia first time, and not only in Georgia, but in Caucasus region as well. And it was much successful. We have amazing companies and projects that were winners of the national awards, and now they have an opportunity to showcase their projects on an international stage and to participate on World Prix d'Excellence in Miami, US. So now I will go back to our main thematic. Today we'll be discussing real estate investment opportunities and perspectives related to Georgia, and we'll be happy to answer all the questions that will be addressed from participants of the webinar. So luckily we have truly amazing lineup of speakers from Colliers Georgia, Alliance Group, Team 2, Lisi Development, Rigoletti Beach Resort Trademark Collection by Wyndham. So they will give very interesting presentations and answer all the questions that will be addressed. So before I will give speech to Kate, Kate Abadadze is my colleague. She is the first president of FIABCI Georgia, and now she is the CEO of our national chapters. We work together with her and also with other team members like our vice president and president-elect Nuta Abramishvili. She, unfortunately, she cannot join our meeting today. Also, Elena Ignavelidze, she is events and protocol manager. So we have women power in FIABCI Georgia and try with common efforts to support ecosystem of real estate in Georgia and work on future-proof projects and ideas. Now, before I will finish, I would like to say that Georgia is famous with its hospitality. Our country has very rich natural resources, untapped destinations. There is a unique traditions of winemaking, and also we offer to interested investors a mess of opportunities like medical and wellness destinations, ski resorts, and four-season destinations. And the most important thing is that we're a hospitality country. The tourism is growing rapidly, and we actually will forecast that this trend will grow in future as well. So now I would like to finish my speech with the new promotional video about Georgia. Georgia is famous with its hospitality, and we call guest Estumari. So in this video, you will see that after visiting Georgia, you will experience great stories and emotions. So I will ask my colleague to showcase this amazing video to you, and I will give floor to Kate. Thank you. I don't hear the voice, just a second. Sorry, Kate, can we fix the voice? Kate, ما შეიძლება რომ გავასწოროთ.
არის მის, კარგად. თუ საერთოდ არის მის.
საერთოდ არის მის, Kate.
We tried to fix the voice. We do apologize.
Yeah, that's the downside of online meetings sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Kate, you can send the link in the chat. It is the easy way out if the voice is not to be fixed.
Okay, let's try it again. Maybe it will run with voice now, and if no, then we can share the link and all participants can look at it. Katie, أبغى ناخد خلق وشك.
Arha.
Speaking.
That food looks way too good. We got it. You got it.
And when you're ready to see some more, don't ask.
Could you stop it and start it from the
Powinna
beginning?
rodauc podcast.
Has already and where to take you next. Stumari is a Georgian word for guest. And hardly in Georgia there exists any other rank higher than that of Stumari. Stumari is a gift of God, said someone a long time ago, and we all agreed. As you touch Georgian land, better fasten your napkin, as you will be taken to the wild ride of feasts and toasts and hus, and have some mores. Stumari deserves a royal rest. And when you're ready to see some more, don't ask internet, ask your nearest Georgian. Each of us has already planned where to take you next. Follow the trail to the magic lakes. Drive to ancient caves. Browse the street market.
Jump in the waves. Have a breath of fresh air. Take a break from your smartphone. Soak in nature. Go see capital of poets.
Sing with our friends. Meet the sky and the mountains. Stumari is our pleasure, our calling. And our mission is unchanged, to make you fall in love and may that love always bring you back. Be Stumari of Georgia. Great stories guaranteed.
Georgia. I love this country.
Well, that was a video about Georgia, and hope you liked it. We all welcome you to be Stumari of Georgia, which is a guest of Georgia. And actually, you can visit Georgia any season, because this is a country of all seasons. We have seas, we have mountains, everything that is necessary for having a good rest and entertainment and everything. Now I'd like to thank Lika for introducing me and for introducing today's online meeting. Lika, I've made an interesting overview of FIABC Georgia. Big thanks to FIABC USA President Raj Rafal for giving us the opportunity to present Georgia. Well, on an example of Georgia, I would say that, yes, our country might be small, but it has very diverse opportunities for further and big development. To tell you in brief, this is a country that has survived the worst during the centuries. And despite all the challenges, The country has always been the top reformer in the Western civilization. And why is that? Because progress and innovation is the key to Georgia's long-lasting success. Our country is the country with past, with history, and what's most important, this is the country with future. Georgia's history, as you can see, is well reflected in its architecture. We have ancient cultural heritage buildings preserved by UNESCO, along with super modern, high-class new development projects. Actually, some of them were the winners, as Lika already mentioned, of the first National Pretty Excellence Awards that was held this October in Georgia. Today, we have award-winning projects representatives here. This is Team 2 and Lisi Development. I wish them and all other winners also global success next year. And I believe we will hear very interesting presentations today from them and from other participants. Thank you again. And I will now give floor to our dear moderators who help us a lot to organize this webinar and to let Georgian projects have international exposure. This is Ms. Trisha Lini and Ms. Lata Jobanputra. Thank you very much. And I'd like also to say greetings to our friends and colleagues who are in Taiwan now. Ms. Trisha?
It's wonderful to have all of you here, and the information is just fabulous. So now we would like to move on to Atuna. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, hello everyone, that's right.
Excellent, a pleasure. So the floor is yours. Are you sharing a presentation or just speaking?
I will share the presentation. Do you see
Perfect.
the screen? Do you hear
We
me
do.
well?
We do, thank you.
Yeah,
Pronounce your last name for me.
thank you too. So can we start? Yeah, thank you. So I'm Atuna Mundishvili. I'm representing Colliers, Georgia. I will talk about the real estate tendencies in Georgia. Well, probably you know well about Colliers. Actually, it's an international company based in Canada. Now the headquarters is in US. So we're representing Georgian office, but we're covering the Caucasus region. Very shortly to tell about Colliers, Georgia. So we're operating since 2014. As I mentioned, we're covering Caucasia region, and we have a team with strong background of valuation, advisory, development consulting, brokerage services, and consultancy of building and supervision, and mainly covering all the sectors like office, hotel, retail, residential, and so on. So today I will mainly talking about residential, office, and hotel sectors, which is quite developed in the recent years. Very shortly about Georgia, just for information. So it's 3.7 million population is living here, and the area is 69,000 square kilometers. The real GDP growth is quite high, actually, for this year. It's expected to reach, exceed 10%. Well, Georgia actually is known with its ease of doing business here, and in the ratings we're in the 7th in the whole world list. Also, we can say that the corruption perception index is quite we are on the 47th place in the whole world, and the rating agency, according to the rating agencies, we have stable outlooks mainly. This is just for information, for your information, when we're talking about Georgia, what kind of country it is for doing the business here. But mainly I will be concentrating on the real estate sectors. So here are the 3 key cities, which is kind of where the real estate is mainly developing. So this is Tbilisi, Batumi, and Kutaisi. Tbilisi is the capital of the city. It's 1.2 million people are living here. The Batumi is already has become the second city. Actually, it's a very new destination, and in terms of the real estate, it's quite growing in the recent years. And Kutaisi was previously in the previous century still the capital of the city, but now it's a third city, and it's underdeveloped. However, they have the new master plan, so there are some transactions happening there. So in terms of real estate, it's also very interesting. Yeah, the mainly residential market is very healthy. We can say that especially in Tbilisi is quite healthy, and absorption rates of the transactions is quite high. So despite the fact that we had as a whole world, the COVID-19 crisis, the recovery is quite good. Actually, we have the increase of transactions in 2022 compared to 2019. So we expect around 20% increase in Tbilisi in transactions, and we expect around 30% in Batumi. So as for the other cities, it differs from type to type. This is very interesting that Airbnb market is was really expanding before pandemics, and it has become a serious competitor to the hotel sector in Georgia. Since the war of Russian-Ukraine war, we see the influx of Russians, Ukrainians, and Belarusians in the country, and that's why there is quite high rates of occupancy rates in the Airbnb apartments. Actually, this is kind of unprecedented in a way, because it reached 70%, and we expect that average probably for the whole year it will be between 50 to 60% in Tbilisi, which is quite high. As for the ADR, average daily rates, it also has increased. So this is, as I already mentioned, mainly because of the influx of non-residents in Tbilisi and in Georgia generally. As for the hotel market, actually, in the recent years, a lot of international brands have entered Tbilisi and Batumi markets. So in Tbilisi, there are around 2,600 international branded hotels. There is around 1,200 in Batumi, internationally branded hotels, and in pipeline also there is quite a high number. So this is the entrance of international hotels is a good indicator that this market is stable, the tourism is growing, and it's an interesting opportunity to invest in the hotel market. So the pandemics were the real challenge. Who were the most vulnerable in this period was the hotel market, so it reflected on the key figures too. However, we have the 30% recovery rate in terms of the tourism. In Tbilisi, the trend is the same. However, in Batumi, this is a bit different, because Batumi also experienced a good number of local tourists too. So local tourism helped really much the seaside resorts. That's why we have a higher recovery rates in Batumi. Yeah, and I will also talk very shortly about the office market in Tbilisi. Actually, it's only 7 years that classified office centers has been opening in Tbilisi. We already have a good supply of A-class offices. So we categorize in 3 categories: A, B, and C-class offices. In A-class offices, we had very good supply just the recent years. In 2021, there has been opened 2 A-class business centers here. And I think the year is not ended. However, we project that the absorption rate would be very satisfactory, and the vacancy rate in A-class offices will drop to 15% to 20% somewhere. As for the VA rents, weighted average rents in the central business centers. So we have given here the benchmarks also. In Tbilisi, it's very similar to the Eastern European cities, a bit higher than it's in Eastern European cities. However, we are on the way of stabilization of these figures. At this moment, if you want to get an office space in the A-class offices, probably the weighted average rent will range from $20 to $25 per SQM. There is another sector that I want to talk about a lot. This is a retail centers. What I can say that Tbilisi market has quite good supply of the shopping centers, and it's distributed all over the city. However, Batumi is another destination which is interesting for shopping centers. It doesn't have much. There is just one just opened there, new one, the large shopping center. In total, they have 4, but yeah, I mean, they are lacking the shopping centers that are oriented on entertainment and customer experience. Yeah, that's why this is another thing to explore. This is very shortly, and yeah, we're ready to answer your questions. In case of inquiries, I'm Etuna, as I have already mentioned. Please contact me if you have any questions. Thank you so much.
Lata, do you want to introduce our next presenter?
Thank you, Atuna, for very informative presentation. Our next speaker is going to be Arakli Gogokia. Did I say it right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. He is a Chief Business Development Officer at Team 2, and he'll be presenting efficient architectural solutions for real estate investment in Georgia. Urban zoning and area regulations, permitting phases and regulations in Georgia, commercial justified development concepts and planning, the practice of implementing international hotel, and designing real estate investment projects proposal. Okay.
Thank you for introduction. Good evening, everyone. I am Irakli Gogokia, and I'm representing architectural and engineering company Team 2, which is based in Georgia, Tbilisi, and we are operating since 2019. Our main field is creating architectural projects for hotel and residential buildings. Mainly, we are oriented on this area, but we also make projects for all industrial buildings and so on. So at this stage, I want to introduce you the phases of getting permits in Georgia. And for the first presentation, I'm sharing the zoning map of Tbilisi, for example, because these zonings are covered all over the Georgia, but I'll show you mainly in the capital of Tbilisi, of Georgia. So in Georgia, we have 10 main zones. They are recreational zoning, industrial zoning, residential zoning, and so on. So these zonings determine the type of building which you can build on this territory. So it is very important for the investors when they are choosing the land for investments. They have to decide where they have planning to make investment and build the building. So these colors determine all the zones, and the green zones, for example, are for recreational zoning and landscape recreational zonings. For the yellows and brighter colors are for building areas. So the next step where our main municipality distinguish the buildings are by their size and type. So we have main 4 classes of buildings. The first class is for small buildings. We just like converted the areas in the foods to be more clear for you. So first class is 645 square foot building, which has a very low and very little requirements for getting permit. And the size of the building, for instance, in the second class and the third class, you have to show and present much more documentation to get the construction permit. So for the fourth class of the building, which is dams, bridges, stadiums, you have to apply the construction permit in the Ministry of Economics and not for the City Hall. For the plot development coefficients, which is also a very important part of the permit process, is to determine the coefficients of your building and how big it should be, depending on the land and depending on the zoning. So we have 3 coefficients. The first one is the lot coverage coefficient, which is illustrated on the right bottom picture. So you can see the second coefficient, which is floor to area ratio coefficient, and the K3 impervious surface ratios. These three coefficients are very important to determine the size of the building, as I mentioned. So on the left bottom corner, you can see the calculations for, we made the example for 1,000 square meter foot length, and you can build the building with a float area ratio up to 2,000 square meter foot. So these are the main distinguishing features of the permits process. After determining the zones and the building plans, you have to provide the documentation which are listed in this presentation. And there are two steps. The first step is to get land plot development, which requires like 10 days from City Hall to observe your documentation and give you feedback, comment, or other response. And after that, if you get the permit, you are proceeding to the next stage, which is up to 18 to 20 days to process the city or from the City Hall. But mainly, as I mentioned earlier, the second and third class buildings has more or less a similar amount of documentation required from City Hall. And basically, the main three features are architectural, engineering, and structural engineering projects. But it is also all the construction documentation has to be provided from the other fields too. For example, it's the dendrology survey or fire safety survey, which is more or less similar to USA regulations, because our government and the permit committee and the municipality, they are implementing the USA regulations in terms of fire safety to Georgia. So we are more or less using similar codes, basically. And after getting all the permits from the and approving for all this documentation from City Hall, there is a third stage, which has like only 5 days required from City Hall. They are getting your construction permit. This process is very important for all investors to see and plan the investment process, because sometimes it depends on the size of the building and on the place of the building, because Tbilisi is a really small city, and if you are planning to invest in the middle of Tbilisi, in the center of the Tbilisi, it might took up to 4 to 5, 6 months of this process. So it's very important to know exactly how you have to act and what type of documentation you need to get a construction permit. I'm sharing the next slide, where I want to share with you the information of the brands which are more or less operating here, international brands in Georgia. And I'm sharing the 3 projects at this stage, which was conducted by our company. It is Radisson Individuals, which is in Racha region. It's a resort of Georgia. It's in the northern part of Georgia, in the middle of Georgia. And the second project is Ibis Kutaisi. It is located in besides the Kutaisi International Airport, and Manino Utsera. It is also in the Racha region, where I also mentioned that it is a resort. And this project is winner in the first FIAP CIPRIX Excellence Georgia event, and we won this won the nominee in we won the prize for the hotel nominee. And we are planning to represent this project in Miami Worldwide PRIX Excellence event. The next slide shows our experience. Our company was a subcontractor company of USA-based international company, Base4 International, which was providing architectural projects for USA markets for brand hotels like Hyatt, IHG, Marriott, and our company was providing construction documentation from Georgia to USA market through Base4 International. So we have a quite huge experience in working in distance, and especially in USA market. I'm sharing the projects which we have done on the USA market. And the next slide represents also the collaboration with the Colliers. For instance, we had some collaboration projects with Colliers. We're partnered with them and working on several projects in Georgia, but also we started to develop the idea of making commercially justified development concepts and planning solutions for investors in Georgia, because it is very important for every investor who is coming to the country for the first time to plan and invest in a property which has like feasibility study, and also has the architectural best architectural solutions for that. So in this collaboration, we just might provide the investors the project concept, demographic research, relevant market research, competition analytics, and overall massing visualization and architectural concept design to see what the investor might look in the future. So this is the brief information about the permitting and the getting construction permit and the stages what all the investors who might be interested in investing in the real estate has to go through getting the project. So this is the next slide, which I will also represent the visualization of this project, which this project is also a winner in the competition in Georgia, and recently we have won the competition. It is the private tender from a private developer who make this competition for the architectural commercial buildings, and we won the second place with this project. But the idea of showing this presentation is to share what type of information can investor receive with working with the architectural company. So at this stage, I think I finalized my presentation, and if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer. Thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. We did have a few questions in the chat. However, I think what we'll do in time of in consideration of everyone's time, we will continue and then we'll go back to the questions. So one thing I do want to clarify is this is being recorded, and I'm sure that Lika will be able to provide us links to all the presentations. Is that correct, Lika? We'll continue on and address that. So next
we
I
will
have
circulate. Sorry, we'll circulate presentations among all registered delegates, so it will be delivered.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So now I have the opportunity to introduce FIOPSI Georgia President-elect Netsa, and they are going to be going over the role of hospitality in Georgia real estate, as well as the main tourism resort development projects. So welcome.
Actually, Nuta apologized. She is not able to join us. Maybe we'll skip her presentation and move ahead to the next participants.
Okay. Basil is the owner of BGG LLC. So we welcome you. And if you want to talk about the beach resort collection by Wyndham. Thank you. I see you online there, Basil. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good day to all. First of all, let me thank you, our webinar organizers, for inviting us to this webinar and to give us opportunity to introduce our one of the unique projects. So my name is Vasil Akhrakhadze. I'm mainly involved in insurance business, and I'm managing with my insurance company currently, but in parallel, I'm involved in construction and development also. I will not take your time regarding the tourism statistics in Georgia, and if you don't mind, I will directly move to the project. Let me share the information of the project. Can you see now?
We do. Thank you.
This is the beach hotel in Grigoletri. This is located in West Georgia. The hotel is operating under the international brand trademark collection by Windham. The hotel was opened this year, May 2022, and in testing regime, and shows quite good statistics and financial data. The description, the few words regarding the description of the project. So the hotel is located on the land plot, which is more than 6,000 square meters. And the main building is up to 5,000. So the main building is about seven floors. Total capacity of rooms are 60 rooms with 4 categories. 26 for them are the deluxe king rooms, and also another 26 are the twin rooms. We have also the 4 family rooms and the junior suites as well. Mainly these rooms has a sea views more than 2/3. Beside the rooms, hotel infrastructure contains also the one conference rooms and 1 meeting rooms for 100 persons each, and 2 restaurants. Also, all of them are with sea views. And also the terraces as well with the sea views, and on the minus level, the spa center also. In spa center, we can, these are the pictures so of our restaurants and the conference halls. Perfect views. And we have also the spa centers on the in which the guests can take the wine therapy, Japanese baths, different types of massages, and other services. It's fully equipped with the new equipment, with the qualified staff and the different treatments. The hotel location also gives us the opportunity to attract the guests and the customers to this anechoic destination, which in Georgia are very popular because these are the only magnetic sands in Georgia, which is known as a good for the medical treatment and attraction of the different customers for the which have the problems with cardiovascular systems, nervous systems, paresis, rachitis, etc., etc. The most important is that we took this permission for construction in front line, which is the last permission now because it's not allowed anymore to take any other permissions for constructions for hotels on other infrastructures. As I mentioned, so the hotel was during the 6 months in the testing regime, during which it shows the occupancy rate up to 80%, adding with the year occupancy rate with the 36%, and non-margin or EBITDA during testing phase was the minimum 15%. Regarding sorry. So during the also we have the forecasts which are given by our international operator, with whom we have the contract, and we hired the operator because we are managing this hotel with the international operator. And according to the figures which they given us from the operator. So the forecasts for next year are for the total occupancy of 50%, minimum 50%, and VT margin is up to 30%, and IRR is up to from 10 to 12%, which is quite attractive, I think, from the investment point of view. Also, I'd like to mention that this project has opportunity for expansion up to 20 rooms, because we already taken the special permission for construction. If there will be the needs for to expand the number of rooms up to 80. This is a few words regarding the project, and I'd like to add that due to fact that I'm not much involved in the hospitality business. My core business, as I mentioned, this is the insurance business. I'd like to sell this project, and I'm interested to find the interested investor, which will be with whom I can discuss the different structure of selling the project with total shares up to 100% or portionally. It's I'm open for any discussion in this direction. So if any questions will be, I will answer to happy. So that's it. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much. Lata, do you want to introduce our next speaker?
Thank you. Thank you, Vasil. It is my pleasure to introduce Miriam Andriadze from Alliance Group, and she will be talking about hospitality as a country's calling card to the world, and Georgia as a highly desirable strategical innovation for foreign direct investment.
Thank you, Lata. Thank you for introducing. And I also want to thank Lika and her team, and Raj, Trisha, and all the attendees of this panel. It's a pleasure to talk about the country that we are so passionate about. So is it fully visible, the presentation? Yes. So I have an honor to talk about Georgia as an attractive investment destination in terms of hospitality and real estate. As a country's calling card to the world, and Georgia is a highly desirable strategic location for foreign direct investments, to be exact. So first of all, I want to talk about Georgia as a wanderlust location for all. The country was shaped by the centuries of history. The Republic of Georgia feels untouched by time, starting from seaside to mountains. Georgia has it all to have a monumental time for distinguished tastes of people. So I want to go with the tourism types and directions that we have in Georgia. We have maritime tourism. We have MICE tourism, which is developing yearly and measurably. Cruise tourism, ecotourism, gastronomy, wine tourism, cultural and rural tourism, mountain tourism, agrarian tourism, and to be really honest, it's not only the experience, it is also the achievement and the global recognition that we have. So the World Travel Awards, WTE, recognized Batumi as Europe's leading emerging tourism destinations in 2020 and 2021. So the post-COVID grind has been continuing. And the recent news is that UK Travel Magazine and one of the very famous brands, Wanderlust, recognized Georgia as the best tourist destination in 2022, in November to be exact. So if we talk about as far as experience goes in terms of tourism and how we have monumental time and how we rest, work, and do all these things in Georgia as a country and do business with ease, we have to talk about tourism as one of the most significant economic contributors to the country. So Tourism Georgia was and is employing people all around the world and also contributing to GDP. Of course. So in 2015, it employed around 158,000 people, producing 60.7% of Georgia GDP and providing 1.94 billion of revenue. And in 2019, which is one of the most achievable years in Georgia's history in tourism, travel and tourism generated a total economic impact of $69 billion and supported 484,000 jobs. So while we can all agree that industry of all around the world was hit hard by COVID-19, and the travel demand remained strong in Georgia and also increased measurably. So if we talk about tourism as an experience and also as an economic contributor, we have to talk about post-pandemic period, and we have to compare the numbers of pre-pandemic and post-pandemic period. So with international travels opening up more and the restrictions have been lifted up a lot more, and people are also seeking new and undiscovered destinations to rest and work and leisure in. So with Bloomberg's research, actually, they say that 61% of people are exploring new destinations where post-pandemic shock is not very recognizable and discoverable. And those customer attitudes are actually conveyed in revenue comparisons of the numbers of the country in terms of 2019 and 2021. In 2022. So 94% of recovery was recorded between January and August, actually. It is quite a hopeful number in terms of revenue. Hospitality recovery has been recovered 67.8% from pre-pandemic statistics and data. So international tourist visits to Georgia between January and September of this year recovered fully, not fully, but almost. And it is on very successful path. Tourists from Middle East and Central Asia already surpassed 2019 data, so it is quite a number. So in November 2022, with the recent data, plus 160.4% was an increase of international travelers for comparing to previous years. So we can also all agree that country is recovering quite successfully. In terms of hospitality data, it is sharply seen in airport data and statistics. So we can say 2021 numbers and 2019 numbers to compare 2022. So compared to 2019, two major airports have recovered hugely. It's Tbilisi International Airport and Batumi International Airport. So the numbers here are written on with a year-on-year comparison, but in 2020, but comparing to 2019 figures, it is with Batumi International Airport 15% and 108% of Tbilisi, because a lot of flights have been added. So the international visitors are really increasing in terms of visiting. So if we talk about demand on tourism, and if we talk about that Georgia is one of the best countries to rest and work in, to do a business in, we also have to talk about investment attractiveness due to the high demand of the country. So first of all, positioning of Georgia as economic fast and developing country. Seventh place, Georgia is the seventh in the place of ease of doing business. Starting a business and registering a property in one day. So you can all imagine how hard logistically it is to register property and to go with all these technical processes. And it is also Europe's leading emerging tourism destination, as I've mentioned previously. High demand on the Georgian real estate market. So it is easy to rent and it is occupied fully. So about 10 million international visitors per year. It was 2019 data. Dramatic increase in tourism makes dramatic demand for accommodation as your residential investment. So visa-free regime for EU and citizens of 98 countries can travel to Georgia without visa and stay up to 1 full year. So as far as ROI goes, Georgia is third least tax burden country. And it has less than 1% property tax and 0% on the capital gain if the property is sold after 2 years of owning property. And if we talk about profitability of the investment, average return is 10 to 12%. Average payback period is 8 to 10 years. Real estate price growth index is 130%. Rental income of tax is 5%. So I talk about investment attractiveness, tourism recovery, and hospitality sector as the first Georgian construction development company that has created a business model of contemporary investment multifunctional complexes and is still making history in Georgia's hospitality sector by collaborating with hospitality giants such as Courtyard by Marriott, Marriott International, Hyatt Centric, Wyndham. And we sharply see and immensely contribute to the dynamics of the sector progressing and increasing yearly. So we are on to the pulse of the sector, as they say. So Alliance Group created 4 projects, 3 ongoing and 1 fully finished. Alliance Palace, which is completed, Alliance Highline in Tbilisi, Alliance Privilege in Batumi, and the recent project actually that was started in 2019, in the period of pandemic, actually 2019, 2020. That was a risky move, but we did not back down from a challenge. And we've created actually one of the according to one of the recent researches, the project with unprecedented amount of infrastructural components. It is the most multifunctional project in the world. It will be incorporated with Hyatt Centric. It will be incorporated with World Trade Center and its first exhibition space in the region. So we will definitely focusing on MICE tourism, business and travel tourism to develop fully in Acharian region. These are our portfolio, and to talk about Alliance briefly, I don't want to undergo the topic. And as far as our portfolio goes and the contribution that we have to Georgian real estate sector, I want to talk about the transactions and the increasement of total amount of transactions in October. This is the recent data. It is 34 higher than the same period of the last year. So real estate sector is quite demanded in terms of the condition that country offers, the comfort the country offers to the investor. So today the world continues to do business in Georgia. The country is ranked 7th in the most recent release of the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index, and Georgia is located perfectly geographically, and it has to provide access to 2.3 billion consumers. It has stable and developing economy, thriving cities such as Tbilisi, Kutaisi, Batumi, a competitive cost for operating business. So the conclusion of it is that yes, Georgian real estate sector is quite in demand. The tourism is flourishing post-pandemic period, but even though the demand is high, even though the demand is increasing measurably, there is still a lot to go. There is still a lot to do and a lot to progress in. And we as construction development companies and other companies from other sectors have to use a full resource to reach.
If everybody could mute themselves, it would be appreciated.
Thank you, Tricia. Thank you very much. So there is still a lot more resource yet to use and relocate to reach the country's full potential. Thank you for listening. I will definitely answer questions regarding Alliance Group in my topic. It was a pleasure to meet you all, and I wish all the best for attendees and other speakers. Thank you.
Trisha.
Yes, absolutely amazing information. I just do want to confirm, I think we have had all of our presenters speak. Laika, confirm?
So we have a presenter from Lisi Development.
Okay.
One of the flagship project in Georgia, award winner of National Pride Excellence. Zura Pichkaya will be presenting the projects and portfolio of the company.
Thank you, Linka.
Okay.
Thank you for the kind words. So let me share the presentation. I'll try to be quick. So do you see my screen?
Not yet, but
we don't see the actual presentation.
upload.
It says you've started.
Probably loading.
Mm-hmm.
We see it.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Very good. So first of all, thank you all participants for your interest in Georgia and in our project as well. I represent Lisi Development, and today I'm going to tell you how our company, with its commitment to the green and sustainable development, actually creates value by doing exactly this kind of green development. So on the screen, you see the actual pictures. So I try to show the actual pictures of our development throughout the presentation. Okay, so Lisi Lake Development was established back in 2010, and we won multiple awards ever since. So our company pioneered the 80-20 concept in the country, which basically means that we build only on 20% of land. So the building footprint is only 20% of land, and the 80% is dedicated to parks and green spaces. So we've done multiple projects. So this is our key main project, the Lisi Green Town. As you can see, this is actually the master plan, and most of it has already been built. So we built around 100,000 square meters of residential area, and there are around 600 families living in our new district. More than 97% of all apartments is sold before the construction is completed. And on average, we have 70 square meters of green environment per capita in our district, which is almost 8 times as high as WHO minimum standards. In terms of the pricing, we also have a premium pricing compared to other Georgian developments. So it's around $1,800 per square meters, or around $170 per square feet. Again, if you look also on the master plan behind you, so you see the developments, residential developments here, all different stages. There is in our territory, there is the largest head office of the largest commercial bank in Georgia. We have the lake behind it. We have the villa districts. So a lot of interesting developments. Again, the market appreciated our strategy of our commitment to green and sustainable development. And when you look at the prices of Lisi compared to all the major districts in Georgia, our prices per square meter are almost twice as high compared to Saportalo district, where our development is located, and we command premium over the other major, most popular districts as well. And we've been like that market leaders for the last 4 years, as you can see from the slide. So this is, we always collaborate with international architects. So this is several of our flagship projects. Lisi Green Tower, this is a project by UN Studio. It's a Dutch architectural firm, very well-known one. Then the second one, the Lisi Garden House. It's British Georgian architects called Architects of Invention. Beautiful house. Now, to the right is Ricardo Bofill apartment complex. So Ricardo Bofill is also a very famous Spanish architect. I think it was his last apartment building he developed. Unfortunately, he also passed away. This is actual photos of the parks in our area. So when you come to Lisi, and hopefully most of you will come and visit sometime, then you will see this nice green areas in between the houses. Actual footages of this, our 5-story apartment buildings and the park next to it. This is the pool, spa, kindergarten. So this is actually our pool and spa, but we also have kindergartens, other infrastructure. Overall, we have 7 parks in the area. Okay. Our second very interesting project is in Kohtamitarbi, which is a ski resort, but it's actually a 4-season resort. So you can go there in summer, during, and of course during ski season. We built there a 100-room hotel plus 300 residential unit apartment block. The area is located just next to the ski lift, or famous Georgian ski lift or ski track. It's 12 kilometers of ski tracks there, and we have a very nice ski in, ski out concept. Most importantly, we have there around 30 hectares of land to be developed going forward. Again, actual pictures of our development and the views you see from the development. That's the summertime. Again, actual pictures, summer and winter time. Very beautiful place, actually. I encourage everyone to come and visit sometime. This is the ski lift just next to our development. Okay. So another major project is on the Black Sea shore. We have a 9-hectare land bank on the Black Sea shore. So I don't know if you can see the mouse, but this is actual picture of the drone footage of our land. And we plan to develop it as a premium resort area and destination. It's just next to Batumi, 10 minutes drive from Batumi towards Seferihisar. So we started with creating a master plan, and we asked the WATG to do the master plan for us. WATG is also very well-known architects and master planners. So they've been around for quite some time, and their project is, for example, Atlantis Dubai and many other projects globally. So they prepared the master plan you see here behind, and we are starting the development of the first hotel, which is the last one here, from the beginning of the next year. So this is actual pictures of the hotel we plan to build. It's 160-room hotel and will be operational by end of next year. Again, the architects are British architects, the architects of invention. And this is our flagship project that will play again in Buknari. It's prepared by the WATG as well. So it's a 350 units hotel and apartment hotel together in Buknari. So this is in pipeline. So next one will be building this project as well. Sorry, something. Okay. So what differentiates Lisi from any other development? Yeah, in Georgia for sure. Basically, we have a significant, huge land bank in Tbilisi. In the prime location. So we have 355-hectare land bank, and you can see here on the map. So out of these 45 hectares, we created a very nice villa district on around 70 hectares, and we created this Lisi Green Town. The pictures that I showed you, it's around 23 hectares. So on top of that, we have a Lisi Lake and surrounding area of 86 hectares, which has become a prime recreational destination for the city. So there is a huge footfall every day in this area, and we plan to develop this recreational destination further and to introduce many more concepts, even more restaurants, public areas, entertainment areas, and so on. And on top of the lake from both sides, and then over here as well in light green, we have then the residential land for the further development, and we're gonna build the mixed use residential properties there. So what this enables us, the land plot, is basically that we can plan way ahead, and we want to create a place which is, well, Tbilisi is already the best place to live in Tbilisi. However, we want to create the best place to live, probably even regionally, kind of a masterpiece. So what we're doing right now, we hired international architects. So we're running an international competition with the world-class master planners to create a master plan for the whole area. So these are the Dutch architects and master planners. And right now the competition is in progress, and sometime next year we'll have the master plan of the whole area, and with the specific focus on the sustainability, the green development, usage of different energy sources, and so on and so on. And actually the picture behind is our development during the night. So some key facts about the company, snapshot. So the total asset value of the company is around $228 million. The total equity value is $197 million. So we don't use much leverage. We try to finance everything with the more with the equity. annual sales around $25 million. We are the only Georgian-rated real estate company, so we have a B+ rating, and we've been rated since 2018. And our company is quite international, so we have shareholders from 17 different countries. We've been issuing bonds publicly since 2018. We've won more than 80 international awards in green and sustainable development and different architectural awards. And we have been doing collaborations with the world-renowned architects for many, many years right now. So far, I think we've created a landmark development and landmark project, and we want to continue like that. So, like I said, I welcome you to come and visit Georgia, visit Tbilisi, visit our project. I'm sure if you haven't been, you're gonna like it. Thank you. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Zurab, for wonderful information. You guys have a beautiful country, and then with all this information, I'm tempted to move to Georgia. So,
I think they're going to have lots of visitors. So, Laika, what I would really like to suggest now is that we have all of the presenters put their contact information in the chat. That way everybody has it. And there were a few questions. I think
we'll propose all the presenters to share their contact information. In addition, we will circulate the presentations to all registered participants. And in case of questions, so we're here to answer.
And I think it would be wonderful if anybody on the screen would like to unhide themselves as well as ask any questions. As Lata said, your country is beautiful and the development is just amazing. And I do want to speak to all of you about your English is exceptional, and thank you.
and thank you for this opportunity. We learned a lot about Georgia. I had no idea how good Georgia is. So thank you, Lika and Kate, and the presenters, Zurab, Mariam, Vasil, Atuna, Irakli. Thank you so much.
Marcia, do you want to unmute yourself? I think you had a question.
I did. So thank you. I saw that there was a conversion and dollar amounts shared. Evan helped with that. Thanks, Evan. But I wanted to continue on a comment you had made, Tricia. The English is exceptional. So is that what we can expect throughout the country? Is it very easy to travel? Obviously, the visa situation is very easy, but is English, are we going to find it throughout the country very easily?
I will answer this question. Thank you, Marcia, for the question. So first of all, I want to say it depends on the age group the people is, or like person is. So, but I will definitely say that Georgia has one of the highest rates of talking English and speaking English, not fluently, but expressing opinions and arguments in English are quite capable from Georgian people and Georgian nation. So yeah, you will definitely come across group of people who talk English quite well, especially in hospitality sector, and especially people who are in real estate sector. So yeah, I can definitely agree with you and say that Georgian people do know English quite well.
Well, I truly hope that you plan a trade mission very soon, because I would like to visit your country after this just incredible, fruitful presentation. And thank you, Lata and Tricia. So I'm going to silence myself now to hear other questions as well. Thank you again.
Thank you a lot for this initiative. Maybe in upcoming future, we can plan ahead together, trade mission to experience Georgia, to show Georgia, and to touch Georgia more closely. So we have a lot of traditions, we have a lot of potential, a lot of new developments, and Georgia is called as hidden part of the Europe. Maybe in nearest future, you will explore this hidden part and new part of the globe. So you are welcome to Georgia. Thank you so much for taking time and participating.
Okay, do we have any other questions? If anybody has questions, please raise your hand, and if not, we'll probably do a thank you again and a wrap up for the day. And Leica, thank you so much for getting everyone this information. And that opening video was just absolutely beautiful. We can't wait to visit.
Wonderful. So I would like to thank Mr. Raj and Dela, and personally you and Lada for facilitating this meeting. We can agree on several commitments, like we can organize such webinars in series, maybe on a quarterly basis, to share with each other updates, new developments, new trends. So we will be more than happy to start this tradition with US chapter. So it's a really great initiative and opportunity for our chapter. We are young, we have established in 2019, but today we embrace up to 43 leading companies. Majority of them are real estate developers and also urbanist architects, consultant companies, and we are growing very fastly. So Georgia is a small country, but emerging country with many potential, investment potential, and also with many opportunities for collaboration. So we are open to continue business communication or friendship with Piapci family members and all interested people.
Okay, thank you so much. And a big giant shout out to Della Booth, who is our chair of our FIAPSI committee, for coordinating this. So everybody, happy holidays.
Happy holidays and thank you for joining.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you. I
Special
hope to
thanks to
see
all
you in Georgia.
presenters.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
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 Christmas. Bye.
Bye.